Hey Virgo, welcome to your twin flame reading. So we're tuning in today to see what you needed to heal, or what you have healed already, and what your twin flame was really mirroring to you in your twin flame connection, because this stuff is important to recognize so that, we can heal what it is that our twin flame is mirroring to us. Because ultimately, if you guys do want to come closer to that external union with your twin flame, you do have to come to internal union within yourself first, and that requires healing and just by being aware of what it is that you need to heal, right? So let's have a look. First, I'm going to just pull some oracle cards here. This is the twin flame oracle deck, also awesome deck. Like, if you want it, I will link the link below. It's been really helpful. But okay, let's have a look and see, Divine, I'm gonna ask this. Divine, what does Virgo need to do to surrender to their twin flame connection? Compassion, higher heart opening, and reprogram your soul, release, raise, and reclaim. Okay. So if you've been seeing 11s and 5s a lot lately, this is definitely for you. Or if you now are, seeing them moving forward, then you also know that this is for you. Okay, I can't pick these up. Hold on. So compassion. It feels like to me, Virgo, that you may be hard on yourself, but I think that you might also be a little hard on your twin flame. Okay, because when I see compassion, it does, it's surprising how long it takes to actually overcome the hurt that our twin flame caused, because normally, usually it's like they abandon us, they betray us, they ghost us, things like that, right? So it's painful because it's your twin flame, so it leaves a very deep scar. Okay, so reprogram your soul is about, there's some things I think within your own self that maybe you're in mental loops still about certain situations in your life. Could be family, could be friends. And I do believe that there's still some healing left to do in that, okay? Because when I see release and raise, it means that you've still got some very deep, maybe family patterns or something like that you are still needing to let go of. And I'm hearing just to see you're still working on moving towards seeing the beauty of what these difficult experiences have taught you. And Spirit is asking you to rise, okay? And reclaim. Rising is about recognizing the patterns, seeing feeling all the emotions that come with those patterns, whether that's anger, resentment, whatever it is. You got to feel it through. You can't just let go, You got to feel those through, and then you can start to have a different perspective, right? Then you decide, and seriously, it may take time for you to feel through all those emotions. Sometimes there's situations in our life, especially childhood experiences, that really take a long time to release, because there is so much anger. It could take years, So it's okay if you haven't got it all figured out yet, but I promise that you can get to a place of really seeing the past differently, right? And so rising means, okay, after, you're able to work through all of those emotions, maybe it's layer by layer, maybe you'll work through it, rise, feel like you're moving backwards, rise again. It's okay. But rising is really about you just now taking on a different perspective. And that's also what reclaim is, okay? So you're deciding how those stories that once let you tell your truth, now you have the chance to rewrite that truth, okay? So that's what I've got. That was loaded, sorry, Virgo. So I've got here the situation between you two, just really quickly before I get into what needs to be healed. Now, also, Virgo, this could be from different Virgos going through different situations, so it's not all gonna be exactly maybe for you. So just take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because I can't capture every Virgo's perspective. So what I do see in the situation right now, you and your twin flame are not really speaking, okay? You both, or one of you, may be a little bit more withdrawn, okay? So you're not speaking, so I do see that you're essentially in a separation here, right? And so I asked Spirit why, what happened here, and it looks like it was whoever identifies as the divine masculine counterpart, the masculine energy within your connection, really needed to figure themselves out. So I'm being shown that there was delays in communication, delays in maybe this person telling you that truth, you know, because I am being shown that it was whatever they did. I'm being shown that they could have moved away or traveled away, or like for work, for school, something like that. They just moved, or like they moved across the country just because. It doesn't always have to be for work or school or whatever it is. But so they knew, like, it's like your masculine knew much, like way before, that they needed to just take time to work on themselves, right? And it may have came to you as a shock, okay? Because I'm being shown delays in truth. So that's the situation, that's what happened. Also, for other Virgos, it could just be that, sorry, I just heard spirit say, wait, there's another situation. Your masculine counterpart was being quite selfish with their time and energy, okay? They were investing a lot in themselves, and they weren't really investing into you. Like, they were being selfish, and you know, there just wasn't an expansion in the relationship. There wasn't, like, you thought the connection would go further. You thought that maybe there would be like a relationship or something, but turns out that there was delays. Okay, so that's the other situation. So now I'm just gonna pull some cards about what you needed to learn or what you still need to learn. Okay, so this is the part that's gonna be, take what resonates. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I'm being shown that there's an ongoing cycle that you are in, and it's regarding some sort of conflict with other people, and it's been an ongoing cycle. Okay, this could be family, this could be friends, this could just be relationships, but there is conflict. A lot of conflict here. So the Five of Wands, you see how none of the wands are pointing in the same direction, okay? So this could be that you don't really, it could be that you aren't really open to taking other people's perspectives, maybe because you have a fear of losing control, or maybe not being right. And I'm not here to judge, Virgo, but this is something that's ongoing for you. Or this is a situation in your life that's still ongoing about conflict with others. There's someone who maybe purposefully just says is the devil's advocate all the time, and just says the opposite things about you all the time. Okay, so the goal for you here is to not let it create internal chaos for you, right? And so that could be, what I mean by that is, you don't have to allow yourself to take on other people's opinions, right? Like, you can just kind of imagine it jumping off of your aura. But there is a lot of conflict and tension that you still need to heal and process, I think. This could be due to a very strong father figure in your life, okay? Or somebody, could be female, that has more masculine energy. That's where the conflict is. But I'm also being shown for you, you've got to reclaim that you can still stand in your power even when you don't feel in control. So this is about trusting spirit, but also really guarding your energy, nurturing your own energy, really keeping your boundaries strong. So I'm being shown that there still is some healing left on forgiveness. Okay, you may have had situations in your life where people have came in and out really quickly, or people have been very impulsive with their words towards you. There's been a lot of arguments and fighting, maybe in your household or in past relationships or within yourself, okay, that you need to bring some forgiveness to. Like, where are you being harsh and hurtful with your words, even if someone has hurt you in the past? I'm not saying you have to be perfect, you know, you don't have to always be like, anger is okay, right? But I am being shown a situation where sometimes you might really lose yourself during heated arguments, and then you end up regretting what you've said. So this, I think, has to do with that, either definitely a parental figure here. Okay, so this is about you working on self-love. You've definitely worked a lot on your self-love. But what spirit, the King of Cups is a king who does have a lot of emotions, but often keep those in because maybe they're afraid to get hurt. They have a fear of vulnerability. So spirit just wants you to know here, you're learning who you can share that vulnerability with. It's okay to stay controlled with your emotions. You know, we don't want to like always fall in head first and, you know, have regrets after because we didn't see certain things, right? So it's not a bad thing. that you've kept your emotional boundaries strong. That is a good thing. But also, you know, this was about you finding that self-love. I am being shown that you may have certain patterns mentally that you sort of move forward in your life. So you might have a fear that things are not going to work out. But this card is really about you creating a lot of the anxiety in your life. Now, I'm not saying that the root of the anxiety isn't valid, because the root of the anxiety is very real and it is something that has created this, you know, stress mentally. But I'm being shown that, and Spirit is telling me that you now do not have to, those are old things, those are old dynamics, those are old loops that we just have to get out of, right? Like, it's about reprogramming your mind of how you speak to yourself and how you speak about the world. Like, do you catch yourself when you're just driving like, oh my gosh, is this not going to work out? Is this not going to work out? Because I am being shown that sometimes your thought processes are stress. So every time you start to feel that way, you just need to like remind yourself, look back at the past when you were worried and look where you are now. You're good, you're okay. Nothing that bad actually happened, right? Spirit, you were taken out of certain situations and you persevered through certain situations. So I think it's really about just when you're feeling negative, remind yourself of past situations that you were stressed about and how it always worked out. It takes time and effort to do this, so just like keep repeating it. It takes time to rewire your brain, right? So I'm being shown a couple different scenarios here. There has definitely been some unfairness. I think that this is regarding your twin flame, obviously, where they just really gave you some unstable action here and they probably didn't protect you in the way that they said that they would. Okay, so there's definitely been unfairness. So this is definitely showing me that there's still healing left to do regarding how your twin flame did not show up for you. Okay, but also this could be that, right? Okay, Spirit's asking what karma is playing out in your life right now. What ongoing cycle, other than the tension and conflict I just talked about, is still going on in your life? It could be financial, okay, something material. There is a cycle of karma that you're in, but listen, you have the willpower to change that cycle of karma. Are you struggling financially, right? Just think about that. And if you know what that is, you can do some past life healing on that. You can definitely do some meditation, do some past life healing, or, you know, you can book a reading with me. No pressure, but I'm just saying, I know that's a loaded one. Just think about that. Okay, healing of past relationships, friendships. Where did you go wrong? Where can you bring forgiveness into your past? Family, friends, relationships. Spirit wanted you to learn how to be independent. Could be financially, but could also just be independent in terms of you really truly feeling like you don't need someone else to fulfill your happiness, okay? Because I do see that because sometimes you've been independent or not financially stable, that it really plays on your mind and it's disappointing for you. All right, so this was a loaded one, Virgo, but I think overall there's some conflicts and mental loops that Spirit really, and this karma cycle, something that Spirit really wants you to think about. And if it doesn't come to you right away, just spend the next couple days thinking about it, and I promise it will be revealed to you. Okay, Virgo, so that is what I've got. I also do twin flame readings, so you can certainly book that with me through the link or visit drpsychic.ai. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please, if this is something that has helped you. Sending you love. Bye-bye.